greatest interviewer of all time, Dan Allen Gaming. If there's one podcast you want to hear this year, it's Dan Allen Gaming.
Dan, we've got a job to do.
Mr. Allen, I've been waiting for you, Mr. Dan Allen. Anyone who's anyone has heard of the likes of you, especially your YouTube channel. It's amazingly entertaining. Good job.
This is Geralt of Rivia, and you're watching Dan Allen Gaming. Yeah.
This is Agent 47. Subscribe to Dan Allen Gaming. He's a great guy.
I always knew we were destined for something great to happen. A lot of people want to change their cards, not me. I like the hand we've been dealt.
I'm gonna come find you, little man thing.
Dan, I knew you'd love me. Come on now, just a little taste.
Dan Allen Gaming. He's a lovely boy.
Super Dan, you number one. Woohoo!
This is Colt calling out to Dan the Animal Allen. I'm gonna break this fucking loop, or I'm gonna break your neck.
You're watching Dan Allen Gaming, and you're going to regret it.
Dan, you and I are gonna take back the universe for humanity.
We're having a problem with Metal Gear, and I need your help. So contact me by codec, damn it!
Dan Allen! You and I going dark now!
Are you being cheeky, Dan?
I'd like to keep this for close encounters.
Tune in to Dan Allen Gaming, or else I'm coming after you. You're fucking down.
I've been interviewed by Dan Allen of Dan Allen Gaming. Not to be mistaken for Van Allen. You know the belts? No, not the same guy. Not even related. Okay, Jackie out.
All the best to you. Just don't cross me.
Dan Allen Gaming, you have got to be one of the best things to come out of Australia. Did you know that? You and me, we would have been unstoppable. Anyways, outlaws for life, partner.
Your face, your ass, what's the difference?
It's okay, Dan. I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
But you shouldn't have done that. It fucking hurts!
Let's find out if Dan Allen Gaming really is the best fucking show in town. Dan! You eat babies! Everybody knows that!
And welcome everybody to the show. We are back better than ever. And today we have the man himself, Margit The Fell Omen. The Omen King. How are we all? It is currently very early in the US, so I'm sure we'll get a few people pick up the later we go. But it is a reasonable time in the US, in the UK, sorry, I believe. We are going to be speaking to Anthony today. You guys might know him from Vampyr, whatever you want to call it. He was a lead character in that. He was in Anthem. He was in Alien Isolation. He was in a lot. He's in a lot. Obviously, he's in Elden Ring. Phenomenal performance. Even if he doesn't get, a staggering amount of lines, man, that voice is bloody awesome. Who have we got in here today on this fine evening? We have some lovely people. Jeremy. We have the lovely Kisma. Necessary Cloud. Mr. Zeppeli. Monica Johnson. title sequence, Alex, Lone Wolf, Hero, Sean, Denzel, 10 p.m. in the Philippines, 8:56 a.m. here. Jeremy, where are you from, mate? Are you from the US of A? Getting up nice and early for this one? Are we? You love to see it. Anthony will be joining in just a moment, guys. Hopefully we can get him to do some lines as well as a character. This is his first interview, I believe, on YouTube whatsoever. A lot of these Elden Ring guys haven't really done interviews, so it'd be good to chat with them. Is my audio coming through all right, guys? You let me know. It's going good, Maddie. I'm going pretty well. I mean, you know, there's some terrible stuff happening in the world, but we're here today to try and provide some, you know, entertainment and some, you know, try and get our minds off that horrible stuff. You know what I mean? But, you know, one thing that has been helping is the selection of games we've had. I mean, Elden Ring, Horizon, Sifu, Gran Turismo. What else is there? I mean, the list goes on. Even WWE, 2K. First one was shocking. Not the first one, but the one a couple of years ago. I remember making a video on the glitches, and it did astronomical numbers. Hundreds of thousands of views. Anyway, this one's much better, surprisingly. So, 8 a.m. Lone. Sound is awesome, beautiful. God of War 5, what do you mean? Johnathan Reed, yeah, exactly. I remember playing Vampyr. I just don't remember the specifics of it. It's been at least 3 years since it came out. I want to say it came out in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. This year's going to be a good year for games. I'm jumping from Elden Ring to Horizon. Jeremy, I know. I actually had to put Horizon down because Elden Ring came through a bit early, thanks to my brother Con. I don't know if you're watching this, Con, but you're a fucking legend. Love you, man. From Bandai, Con hooked me up. Had it a few days early, which is all, you know, always helps as a YouTuber. And I was just smashed. I've smashed it out ever since. I think I've got 150 hours in the game. It's only been out, you know, I've only had it for... If you break that down, it's like 8 hours a day. It's something crazy. It's unhealthy amounts of playtime. I don't know about you guys, but there's still so much I'm finding as well. I just found this really cool village. Just off the beaten path, a bit secret, off the side there that... with a bunch of, you know, the jars, the pot boys. I wonder if you were given any context as to who they were providing. We're going to ask him that. We're going to ask him that, man. What's up, Electrical? How you doing, man? Nocturnal lifestyle. Exactly. It's freaking 2 a.m. here in Australia. 100 hours, yeah. Easily you get 100 hours out of this game. Easy. I've found all endings. I'm 97% through. Anthony was here and now he's left. So hopefully he comes back. I was just about to accept him. He's probably thinking, what's going on here? Here he is. All right, guys, this is Anthony. Let's do it, shall we? I hope you enjoy.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Anthony, can you hear me, mate?
I can now.
Hey,
yes.
how are you, mate? It's great to have you here.
Thank you for asking me. It's a pleasure. It's nice to be here.
And this is your first interview for a while, especially for gaming, right?
I think this is my first interview for gaming.
It's an honor, man. It is an honor. Thank you for coming on, brother. Everyone here's very happy to see you. I guess we kick it off by how are you, mate? How's things been?
I'm well, thank you. Yeah, you know, all things considered, there's a lot going on in the world, which isn't good. But yeah, no, I'm good here in London. Yeah.
I think.
How are you?
Yeah.
How's Melbourne?
I mean, it's okay in Melbourne, but I don't know if you've heard there's a lot of floods over in the top side of Australia happening right now. So I feel for some of the guys up there in Queensland. Have you ever been to Australia?
I've not. No.
Oh, you got to come down eventually.
I've got a very good friend who lives in Melbourne, so I hope to one day.
Oh, beautiful. I think a lot of people might not know. I mean, obviously you've done some stellar work in your work in a certain TV series back in the day garnered you your first sort of big success. Am I wrong in that sentiment?
Are you talking about Foyle's War?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. In all yeah, I mean, I have really happy, fond memories of those days. I mean, I think my last series I filmed in 2009, so it was a while ago now, but it still feels like it's out there.
That's interesting. I mean, I was watching an interview of you from a while ago, and you said that one thing you look for when reading a script is characters. Is that the same for when you're doing these voice acting gigs, or is it a little bit more secretive in gaming?
Yeah, it's a lot more secretive in gaming. You know, when you're sent a breakdown of a script or a character, they give you the bare minimum. You sign an NDA, so you're not allowed to talk to anybody about it. And the information that you're given to go on is really kind of the basic, you know, age, you know, characteristics, and very little. You're not rarely given a specific character title, you know.
Is that for the audition process, or even sometimes for when you're doing the gig itself?
It varies. Okay. Sometimes, I mean, you know, they're very different mediums, games and sort of television or film. And I mean, in both you rely on a director to give you the context, but for gaming, because you very rarely get to read the whole thing, you know, you're just basically sent a list of your lines with your feed lines or dialogue around your lines, and it's usually the director or, you know, the developers who are online with you that fill you in, that give you your story, because of the secrecy that's involved in gaming. You just get a spreadsheet with your lines, and so you have to. A lot of it is, as I said, the director, and then a lot of it is thinking on your feet. You know, you go in and you're told a certain storyline, and you think, okay, right, well, how would my character react in this situation?
I want to get into a lot of your video game work, but I think there's something that a lot of listeners and viewers might not know, is that you've actually got an architectural degree, Anthony. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You've done your research.
I do my research around here.
You did. Wow.
Has that come in handy at all over the last 20 years, your career in acting?
Oh, I tell you, it did very, very, very early on. My first job was a theatre job with a French-Canadian director, an incredible director called Robert Lepage. And the role was to play Frank Lloyd Wright, the immense, amazing architect, American architect's sort of right-hand man. So my knowledge of architecture, because Robert works in a sort of collaborative way, the stuff that I knew about architecture, I could bring into the improvisation and then into the collaborative process. So in that case, yeah, it did help, but I don't think it's helped in anything since.
It's funny because I was also watching, just typing your name into YouTube, you get a Shakespeare recital. I don't know if you've seen it. It's Shakespeare's Sonnet 47. Do you remember doing that one?
Yeah, that was for it was during lockdown. It was for the German Street Theatre. Yeah.
All the comments, I don't know if you've read, all the comments are, this man is a legend, vampire, observation, Diablo, thank you. This voice actor is incredible. Found this video when I was trying to Google Johnathan Reed. That voice, it's so hilarious. It's nothing to do with Shakespeare. They're all just gaming fans coming in. I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's lovely to hear.
Everyone in the chat, please send your questions in for Anthony. He'll be more than happy to answer them. But in terms of Elden Ring, I mean, this game is just lighting the world on fire. It's the best-selling game in the US this year already.
Wow.
96 out of 100 Metacritic.
Fantastic.
It's unbelievable. It's one of the highest rated games ever.
Ever. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. That's amazing.
And I mean, your performance, I know you don't have, an incredible amount of lines, but man, you knock it out of the park, I tell you.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead. Sorry, mate.
No, I was going to say it's sort of me and a whole kind of massive team. I mean, I just do the voice. It's just everybody involved in Elden Ring has just, as you say, they've knocked it out of the park. It's an incredible game. I mean, it's just beautiful, just incredible. And I'm not surprised it's had all these amazing reviews.
Do you remember getting that call that you were going to do this role? Do you remember how it all came about?
I was looking back actually to try and work out, because often as you know, these games take years in development, and then as things are tweaked and then as things get released bit by bit. And I auditioned for it in 2019. And at the time, because of all the secrecy that we've just talked about, I knew nothing about it. And then slowly, the names were attached to it. So,
as in George R. R. Martin or From Software or what, that sort of stuff.
Hidetaki Miyazaki as well, and you kind of go, okay, so this is a big game, I think. But again, you don't know, because you're only given your lines and you don't know how many lines are going to be in the game. So you really don't know. I really was clueless about the content. And as I said, a director will give you your context for your scene. But as far as everything else goes, you know nothing.
Were you directed by the From Software guys over there, or was it someone local?
Yeah.
It was.
Well, a combination. So way early on, the team would come over to London, and Adam Chapman, who was there, who worked on the game in London as part of the London team, would direct the actors, and then he would he would then talk to the designers, and so it was a kind of big collaborative process. It was really intimidating the first few times, because you walk into the studio and Adam's there, who's lovely, amazing guy, and then there are these four kind of legends, or four game designers that you just think,
oh shit.
So it's a combination of kind of, whoa, this is serious, and also just wanting to do the best you can, because it's it's a privilege to voice any of these games, and especially in a game like Elden Ring. I know all the actors just are overwhelmed by by what they're part of, and to be part of something special. And as an actor, you just want to do the best you can. So you don't want to disappoint anybody in the room. So you'll do a take, and then there'll be chatter.
What, and you're just sitting there nervously, or what?
Yeah. And then they press the mute button, so you can't hear anything they're saying.
Oh no!
So I would say in the early days, like 50% of my energy was going towards keeping calm, staying upright, not kind of freaking out, and then the other 50%, which hopefully grew to 100%, was then the character.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. So, did you have the voice ready to go at that point? You knew what it was, or did you experiment, or how did that come about?
Yeah, it was a collaboration. You go in with a few ideas based on the brief, and based also on your audition. So they'll record your audition, send it off. Then Adam will often ask you to do a few takes, do it a bit like this, do it a bit like that, and then they'll select which of that kind of area of vocal, resonance or intensity or depth or whatever they liked about your audition, and then you'll just play with it, and just see what comes up, see what happens on the day.
Because I noticed, I don't know if this was intentional from yourself, but Margit is a bit more reserved, whereas the later version is a bit more fiery and aggressive. Was that intentional, I'm guessing?
We changed the sort of, because the dialogue gets tweaked, there will often be changes as the years go along.
Yeah.
And also because you do it in isolation, often 6 months apart, and I've not got
difficult.
to the middle of the game. I can't remember how he sounded in the middle of the game, so I'll have to.
Really? Wow.
I'll have to watch somebody who's made it that far, because I haven't.
Oh wow! So you recorded from home on this one?
No, none of Elden Ring was. It was all done in studio at Liquid Violet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
It was all in.
Wow, man, it's unbelievable. Let's get some questions here from anyone. Just got to make sure they're all we're all good here. Apologies if this has already been asked. Has Anthony ever played any of the Souls games or Elden Ring?
The first time I played Elden Ring, I didn't play it. I watched some of the guys at Liquid Violet. We had a launch party on the day of the launch, and so I sat there watching them play against Margit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was amazing, because they were in the sound studio and they had the big kind of projector with the sound, and I mean, these guys have the most incredible setup. So being able to see it for the first time on one of those screens was amazing.
Do you give yourself a pat on the back then when you see the music behind it and the voice and the design? I mean, you must be thinking, wow, this is awesome.
Completely. I mean, but from my perspective, it's more having seen the game for the first time. You listen out for your voice to kind of, did I do a good job? Am I, but most of your focus is on the stuff you've not seen, the graphics, because it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
What they managed to do is just beyond belief. So I'm just kind of in wonder.
I'm shocked you haven't seen your whole performance yet, because I thought you'd be like, as an actor, you'd want to see your own work, but I guess some people just can't really watch their own stuff, can they? They get a bit funny about it, because I know there's a lot of actors I've spoken to that they won't watch the movies they're in, or once it's done, it's done. Are you a bit like that, or what?
No, I don't mind. It took a while to get used to.
Yeah.
I remember going to the first sort of cast and crew screenings for TV stuff I've done, and you sit there and just think, oh God, you don't know what's coming. With TV, the editor and the director have control of which takes they put in. So you're never quite sure what will make it in the final cut. And just, who wants to watch themselves? I don't. Thank God. In gaming, at least you don't look like yourself. I look like Margit,
What was your reaction when you did see Margit? What? I mean, it's a pretty
shock was his tail. I didn't know he had a tail. He has this enormous tail.
I know. He doesn't look like he'd have a tail, does he?
No, because all the stuff I'd recorded with the team was the stuff you see very, very early on. So it's not any of the boss fights. So I just saw him jumping down and saying the lines, foul, ton, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, can I hear that again, please? That's unbelievable.
Foul, tarnished.
Oh man, that's
because he's always face on. I didn't see him in profile. I never saw his tail. So the biggest shock for me was seeing the tail. And I was like, whoa.
Hold on. So they don't even give you the art when you're doing the voice. They just give you a description.
Oh no, they do. They do give you. Yeah, because all of this is done in parallel. They'll have graphics and they'll have for the cinematics. They'll have varying stages of developed graphics, and so by the end, when we were doing the final kind of tweaks and edits to the lines, I saw he was there. He was there. Margit was there. All I'm saying is, when I saw him, he didn't have a tail. So seeing that tail was just like, whoa.
By the way, everyone just said they had an eargasm when you said foul tarnished. I knew that would happen. Kisma here says, how does an actor get a role in an Elden Ring Souls game? Is it different to any other game, or is it the same, the process?
Yeah, it's just the same. We all, I would imagine most voice actors have agents, and then voice actors will have worked with companies like Liquid Violet who cast Elden Ring in the UK, or Side, or some of the other games, and they will approach your agent. Your agent will either ask for you specifically because they know your work, because it's quite a small world still, or they will just put out a casting brief like they do with acting and say, we're looking for a male voice in his 40s, quite deep, quite whatever, and then your agent will put forward who they think is suitable for the role. Then the casting people for the game will select who they want to interview or audition. Sorry.
Yeah, and gladly they got you for this one, hey?
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
And I mean, you are busy. Looking at your resume, I mean, in the last 6 years, you've just been flat out with big games too. I remember the one that I played recently, where you were the lead, was Johnathan Reed in Vampyr. It's just a neat little game that I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed. You got to really flex in that one.
Yes, that was amazing. Yeah. And being able to really spend the hours and hours and hours on the character, and also interact with the other characters, everybody that's all the characters in the game. So that was a lot of fun, and I really, really enjoyed that.
And Wald here said, will you be in another game where you're the main character? And unfortunately, I know this world very well. You wouldn't be able to tell us even if you were. Yeah. I'm sure you're in 6 new games, but you can't tell us about any of them. So,
I'm afraid I can't say anything.
But hopefully some main characters, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to. Hey, I'd love to. Yeah.
Have you met Miyazaki? I guess not in person, but over the Zoom.
Yes, no, he came to London to do the
he came.
To the casting, the recording studio.
Oh, I thought you said they were over Zoom. Oh, I'm mistaken. Wow, so you had 4 different designers in the room muting you, and oh goodness me, the pressure. I don't know how you do it.
You know, there was Hideki Miyazaki, and then there was his team, and then there was Adam, who was in there with them, being the go-between. But I was in the recording booth, and then the engineer plus the game designers, and Miyazaki-san was in the room with them.
And he doesn't speak English, does he? So he has a translator?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I managed to speak a couple of words in Japanese to him.
Oh, nice.
Just because out of sort of politeness and respect. But no, I don't. And he was lovely, really. You know, I think that's true of every single job I've ever done in the gaming world. I just think it's an amazing and a lovely world.
I love to hear that. I'd love to hear that.
Gamers, whether it's the designers, whether it's the actors, whether it's the casting, the recording of it, the engineer. I mean, everybody. Everybody takes it so seriously, but then they don't take themselves seriously. You know, it's like a real labor of love and real love, but it's not kind of pressurized or precious or any of that. It's just, I love it. It's a joy.
I can tell. And I obviously know that he loved your voice because, I mean, we heard that Foul Tarnished, I believe, in a couple of the trailers. So you know they love you when you're in the trailers.
Yes.
That's a big tick of approval, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you please tell him that I really love his performance as Johnathan Reed from the game Vampyr. That character means a lot to me. Thank you very much. All the love from Kisma.
Oh, thank you, Kisma. That's very nice to hear. Thank you.
What were your thoughts on so many people getting their ass kicked by Margot's the boss fight?
I loved it. I mean, on the launch night, nobody and you know the engineers at Liquid Violet are some, you know, they're pretty hardcore gamers. They're pretty serious. And even at the end of the evening, we left at, I don't know, maybe 10 o'clock at night. Nobody had beaten. So I left kind of feeling pretty cool. And then I'm not a big kind of social media follower. I've just rejoined Twitter actually, because I was off it for about.
Where can we find you? Let's give you a shout out now.
It's just my name, Anthony Howell, but then an underscore at the
beautiful
at the end.
I'll put it in the description. Make sure you follow him, guys.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, it was great just seeing people getting beaten again and again and again. But then following people online saying, you know, I beat him. I've finally done it. I finally, you know.
Oh. Yeah. And there's also some real, like I saw today, some amazing, a painting of Margit. I don't know if you've seen it. Incredible painting.
I don't think so.
I'll have to send it to you off air. Unbelievable. And some of the art as well. Some of the fan art. Man, yeah. Oh, it's incredible. Some of it really is. And it's only been 2 weeks since the game's been out. It's already, you know, people have done paintings and it moves quickly. Well, I mean,
that's a tribute to the designers, you know, these guys that have created these characters. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Did Anthony play Vampyr? Someone in the chat says. Did we touch on that earlier? No, you didn't.
No.
But you saw the cutscenes?
Yes. Yeah. No, I do watch the cutscenes because it's generally much further than I would ever get in the game if I tried. I'm a terrible gamer. I'm really not good at gaming. I mean, I love the world, but I'm just, I don't know whether it's my thumbs and.
You'd be surprised. Most actors I have on say the exact same thing, that they suck. And you know, you probably don't have time either. It's Elden Ring. I've played over 150 hours, so
Whoa. And it's been out 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hey, I had it a couple of days early. Shout out to Bandai Namco, but still, if you add that up, it's probably not healthy amount of time. Lucky this is my job. Noth here says, did you get the full backstory on Margott, Anthony?
No, we got just little chunks, just enough to give us the situation. So we were told, what the scene we were about to record was about, who he was talking to, and the context. But that was it, really. And as I said, through the director, so through Adam, he obviously knew a lot more about everything. Because he was looking at everybody's part. So you got enough information, and we are given enough information to get the character to where they want him to be, him or her.
Yeah. Do you remember the line where you're reading out, Godfrey, and you're going through Rykard, and you're going through?
Oh, yes.
You remember that scene?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That's the second stage. If I'm making
right,
that's Margott. So that's the difference in voice from Margit. I'm trying to recall your memory here, because I know it's probably years ago since you recorded this. But yeah, I mean, the stuff you did, man. I know. Look, I don't know how long it took you. Maybe a couple of days that you worked on this. I don't know. Do you remember?
I don't know how many days. I mean, it's generally sort of a couple of hours at a time, a session. But I would imagine 5 or 6 sessions over the 3 years, 2.5 years.
Oh, really? So there was, right. Wow. See, I don't know how you do that either. Go back into the character after a year. I guess they play it in your ear, and you try and find the voice again. Or right.
Yeah. So John or Max, who did the audio engineering on it, would play back your previous stuff, because as you say, sometimes it's 6 months prior to or after you've done the previous recording. So a reminder is always useful. And also if you work on other games in between.
I know, that's what I mean. And I'm sure like sometimes there's a similar voice between characters because you do so many,
I've been reading that people have sort of recognized my voice as other characters in games, which is nice.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, right.
So I guess I can't disguise my voice too much. I guess.
No, look, to give you another compliment, I couldn't tell it was you.
Brilliant.
And that's the best compliment you can get, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you ask Anthony if he's met any of the other voice actors in Elden Ring, or if he knows any of them?
Yeah. There were quite a few at the launch party in London at Liquid Violet. So and some I've worked with before. So Kezia Burrows I'd worked with before. We did an amazing, beautiful video game called Observation.
Oh yeah,
really lovely,
amazing game. Yeah. I don't know many people played it, but they should. I recommend it.
Yeah. So she and I had worked on that, and also we did Alien Isolation together. So there were a few people that I recognized the faces of, but didn't know. But Kezia, I know very well. He's great.
Kezi was in what character in Elden Ring? Do you know?
Oh God,
I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Yeah.
Now, I guess I can look it up. Someone will probably know. Yeah, I'm just interested to know.
I don't think she was Rania.
So she was in Alien Isolation.
She was, yes. Yeah.
Here we go. Alien Isolation as Amanda Ripley?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She was Selena. Nice.
Okay.
Very good performance. Love it.
Yeah.
So she was the only one you knew from other experiences, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yep.
Who I'd worked with before.
Yeah.
But I the acting world it's quite a small world, so you recognize faces and
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Anthony think of the Margott character? How was he able to do such an epic voice?
Well, what do I think of him? He's a badass. I mean, you only got to look at him and think, okay, I'm gonna mess with him. And again, you with the voice, we just tried things. You can make it deep and gravelly, and if it works, it works. Or depending on what what the game designers want, you change it around. I mean, that's the great fun thing about game and voice acting, is that you're not tied to how you look, because hopefully I think you're too much like Margit The Fell. But
come on, I mean, I read that you're 50. You don't even look a day over 30, mate. Come on.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm definitely over 50. Yeah, that's true.
You don't look it. You don't look it, mate.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, it's great because you can, I've played vampires and I've played, Margits and Morgotts, and I've played robots and all sorts of things. So none of which I would get cast at as in the TV and film theatre world. So it's incredibly freeing and liberating, and yeah, it's very freeing because you can go in to a game audition and they're listening to how you sound. They're not looking at how you look. And that's and also because you're not having to worry about how you look or how you're lit or any of this stuff, or whether you're facing downstage or upstage or whatever, you can kind of make a fool of yourself as well. So, if you need to get to that place where your body is kind of, gnarled and twisted, you do it,
Did you do that for Margit? Do you end up going moving your body in distortive ways, or are you more
or tensing? Often my hands are very tense sometimes. Yeah. And then, in the fights, you've got all the efforts so that, you'll have light hit, strong hit, medium hit. So you'll spend a good half hour going,
dying 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. Yeah. Do you mind doing that for the next 30 minutes? We'll just sit back and you can destroy your voice for us.
Well, luckily they put that at the end of the session if you have to. The death always comes quite aptly at the end of the session.
Oh, can we hear that line again, mate? Can we hear the Faltanis in search of the Elden Ring, emboldened by the flame? I just got to hear it live. It's so good.
Right. God, foul tarnished in search of the Elden Ring, emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Man. It's music to my ears, man. It's music to my ears. Oh, man, everyone's going to love that. That's going to go viral. Can you please say good evening, Vampire Hunter?
Ooh, as Johnathan Reed.
As Johnathan, yeah. As Johnathan, yeah.
Gosh, Johnathan.
Do you remember? Where's he? Yeah. Do you remember him? It's a while ago.
Reed. Good evening, Vampire Hunter. I don't know if he was down there. I'm not sure.
I think he was. I think he was. Yeah, I was listening to some footage earlier. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. That's pretty close. I mean, as you said, it's you've done everything: robots, vampires, evil creatures. Anthony's Margott voice makes me want to see more of the character. I want to know more about this guy. I'm always so surprised at how different voice actors sound. Here you go, another compliment.
No, that's nice to hear.
Is it hard or tiring doing the Margott voice?
I mean, it takes work because you only have a certain amount of lines, and you need to get it right. So, we do a lot of takes to get the right intonations, and depending on the level of physicality as well, and depending on the sort of the distance from your voice, where I'm at now and where Margit is, or whether, I mean, Johnathan was quite similar to my own register. But yeah, Margit took a little bit
more. Yeah, I can imagine. So was Alien Isolation your first big break in terms of gaming voice acting, or was there a game before then that I'm missing?
Yeah, so the first game was Castlevania, Lords of Shadow.
Nice.
2. Sorry, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
Yep.
And that was, I did mocap on that.
Oh.
So most of my early gaming stuff was mocap. So it was performance capture.
Yeah.
And so I worked on that first with Neil Newborn, in fact, who says hi, by the way.
Oh, nice. So that's how you know him, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We love Neil. He's a legend.
Oh, he is. He's incredible. He's just like,
He's almost the king of performance capture, that guy. He's
completely.
Isn't he?
Yeah. He's amazing. And he's such a lovely guy as well. He's really, what you see is what you get. He's a lovely man. So we worked on Castlevania together. And then, even though it was part 2 and Robert Carlyle had voiced I played Dracula, so I was Dracula for the mocap.
Yeah.
I voiced Victor, so I came back and I voiced Victor.
Right, but didn't do the mocap for him.
Didn't do that. I did not for
him.
Victor. I did Robert Carlyle's mocap.
Yeah, right.
And it was mind blowing. I really loved it. Just being in the volume, and we were working with Kate Saxon, who's an incredible director, a theatre director and television director, who also works in games, and has done some incredible games. And so we'd worked together in theatre, doing a play. And then so I came and worked with her on Castlevania, and it was brilliant, because it's like
theatre, isn't it?
It's like theatre, but it's even freer, because there's no downstage, stage, stage left, stage right, upstage. Everything is being captured, so you've got complete freedom. So Castlevania, and then I think the following year I did Alien Isolation, and then I don't know, and then
another slowly, 50.
Then slowly moved away from the motion capture side of things.
But why did you do that? Was that a decision that you made, or just ended up going that way?
Yeah, it just ended up being that way. I have come back to do performance capture or motion capture
recently,
but it's the last one I did was a really lovely game called South of the Circle. Very
South of the
beautifully drawn, independent, sort of smaller game.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so that I think that was the last time I did motion capture.
That was 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But most of the work I do now is voice, voicing.
But I'm guessing you want to get back in the volume sooner rather than later. Am I wrong?
Love to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much fun. Although now I wonder things, I mean, when I was doing mocap, things were evolving all the time. So when I first did it, we didn't have head cams. We had the leotard with the golf balls on, but we had these little sticky balls that were kind of stuck to our face.
Not the camera. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I think it moved to dots. So like pencil dots.
Yep.
And then after that, it was head cam stuff.
So you didn't have head cam for South of the Circle?
Did we? Yes, we did.
You did. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So head cams I've done on a few games, but yeah, when we started.
I mean, I would find that a bit jarring, having the camera right in your face for like, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be something you have to get used to, I'm guessing.
It is. And also you have a light usually. So you've got this light shining in your face. Oh. These things have to be pretty much tight to your, as tight as they can be. So if you're doing 8 hours of mocap in a volume, by the end of the day, your head is just like, it's been in a vice. You have the worst headaches.
And can I ask, when you're in a booth doing voice acting, by the end of the session, are you sweating like no other every time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the length of the session. So for example, for doing Vampyr, when we would record, 4 or 6 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Because of the amount we had to do. We would have to break after 2 hours and open the studio door and
Because there's no air cons, right? There's no airflow at all.
No. No air. Yeah. No, the air that you're breathing after 4 hours is usually the air that you started with 4 hours earlier. So it's a bit warm and tired, a bit like the actor.
Iago here, thank you for the 5. He says, thank you, Anthony, for the magnificent work you did on Elden Ring. You did spectacular on the great efforts on Margit.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Oh, that's good to know.
I literally said, I put out a tweet. I said, well, who was your favorite performance in Elden Ring? Top comment, foul tarnished.
Really? Is that because nobody's got past him yet?
No. Look, no, honestly, I don't know if you've seen some of the other voices, but what Simon did with Rykard, I don't know if you've heard it, but it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's crazy. I'll have to send you a clip. I don't know how he gets his voice to that. Oh, man.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Another question here. I wonder how many times Anthony has died to Margit. Well, I don't think you've played, but you've seen a lot of people die, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been in the studio whilst watching people endlessly die. Quite a few people. Yeah.
B. Vargas, love the voice acting, Anthony. Elden Ring is a legendary game. I've probably had 60 hours so far in it. You got some catching up to do, mate. I'm on 150.
Yeah.
Is there any role or series Anthony would love to step into? From Ben. That's a good question. What would you love to get into? Maybe a Marvel game, or what are we thinking here? What's something or property?
Yeah. I think what I've been able to do in the gaming world is something that I've not really been able to do in the theatre and TV and film world, which is play darker villains. I did play an assassin on TV in the last series of Luther, which was a lot of fun.
You did?
Yeah. So that was about
with Idris Elba.
Idris, yeah.
How do I not know this, man? That's crazy. Well, congrats for that.
Thank you. Well, it was just so much fun. I was so grateful to have been given that opportunity to play against my type, because I'm generally typecast as, I think probably after a lot of years of playing Sergeant Milner, who was, he was a great guy. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
And then probably a lot of my stage work has been playing good guys as well. So I'd love to play something darker. Because my voice is down here, often I get to play Margit, and and not that Johnathan Reed was a bad guy, but he was a vampire. So that's cool. Never played a vampire on TV.
Is Margit the worst character, like worst person you've played, or worse? Would he be up there, or is there someone worse that we're missing?
God, no. There was a character called Bahavas, I think, in Horizon Zero Dawn. He was an American, and he was a badass kind of, character. He wasn't the most sympathetic of characters. I mean, I think Margit's pretty much up there with.
He didn't make it out alive, did he?
No.
Yeah, because he wasn't in the latest Horizon. I was looking out for him, but I realized, didn't work out for him. Did it?
Some you win, some.
Does Anthony prefer voice acting, on stage work, or in front of a camera? I don't think you can choose, can you?
No. I enjoy them all because they're all very different, and they all require different kind of skills, and I mean, I've because of the pandemic and because of the what's happened in the world in the last 2 years, I've done a lot more voice work. I haven't done any stage work in the last 2 years. Yep. So the ability to be able to isolate yourself and work from home has meant that I've done a lot more gaming work. As I've said, I love voice acting. I love working within the video game industry. I love the people. It's just such a great tribe of people. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It's not to say I don't enjoy, theater and film and television, but gaming, it's very different. It's very freeing.
Here's a question for you. What was more nerve-wracking for you? The moments before heading on to a big theatre play, to a big crowd, or the lead up to those 4 designers in that sound booth for Elden Ring, and you've got to come back with something. What's more nerve-wracking?
It has to be theatre.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so. I mean, because the live audience effect, right? Yeah.
I can tell you one moment that I'm almost there because it was so vivid. I did a production of King Lear a few years ago in London, and Ian McKellen was Lear, and it was an amazing, terrific production with a beautiful, amazing cast.
Wow.
But one of the shows was filmed live for what's called NT Live over here.
Yep.
And it's part of National Theatre Live, but it's a company that films and then broadcasts live or at a later date to cinemas. So it makes a lot of theatre more accessible. So we had one performance which was for NT Live, and it was streaming to cinemas across, I think at that point it was just across the UK.
Yeah.
But knowing that you were about to step onto stage in front of 1,000 people, but then however many thousand watching live, and knowing that was also going to be recorded for posterity. So whatever mistakes or fuck-ups you made were there for good.
Yeah.
And I remember standing in the wings, and my heart was beating so fast. I thought, I think I might be having a heart attack.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, right.
It was terrible.
Now, when you walk out, does the feeling go straight away, or are you still in the? Does it take a few moments to get the nerves out of your system?
It really depends. It depends on sometimes how far you are into a run. So, Lear was a sort of 12 or 13 week run. So by week 4 or week 5, you've been doing it for a while. You're very familiar with your entrances and exits and where you go on stage. And if you've got props, which props work and which props, you have a habit of dropping or sort of not to drop. Once it's kind of in your body and you've got it, you feel more relaxed. And you're free to kind of just interact with the other actors. But the first few performances, are, and especially when performances are picked out, like press night. So,
is that when the reviewers come in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the night that you just feel that there's so much pressure on you that you've got to do it right. You've got to do a good. So that's a bad one.
Do you listen to the reviews? Are you one to look like really dissect them or not?
No. I don't mind reading reviews of stuff that's already been done. So, for example, I don't mind reading, Elden Ring, or I don't mind reading reviews of TV shows. But when you're still in something, it's lovely if a friend says, "Oh, there was a lovely review in such and such a paper," and you can just say, "Okay, that's good to know." But I don't go out of my way to read reviews.
I feel like they're more critical for theatre, are they? I just feel like they are. Maybe I'm wrong.
I've had my fair share of critical reviews. Yeah, so I would agree with you there. Yeah, they're mean.
I don't know. I feel like they're just because my brother's an actor.
Is he?
Yeah, and he's done a few plays, and they're just they're ruthless sometimes.
Yeah, and I think it's it's not like the gaming world. It's a very kind of serious business theatre in terms of the perception. So I think people feel they have to be very, very intelligently critical of theatre, whereas I think in the gaming world it's a little bit less precious and critical.
Yeah,
a bit more fun.
I enjoyed Margot's boss fight, even though I just rushed there. It did increase my patience and took time to learn his movesets and combos, plus 30 deaths. Thanks, Anthony. I died 10 times fighting Margott, but holy damn, that was an awesome battle.
Excellent.
What sort of prompt was Anthony given during the throne scene as Margott? I don't know what you mean by prompt. Maybe a context of the...
Yeah, maybe context.
Do you remember?
Well, I think that scene was a good 2 years ago, 18 months ago that we recorded that.
Shit.
I mean, I do remember because you are given some of if they have the animation, you are given it. Is he coming downstairs, coming down steps?
Yeah.
So I think from what I recall, it was his attitude towards these other three of them and the twins. Twins. And that he's quite condemning of them, quite critical, quite right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, 100%. Yeah.
But I'm over 50, my memory is not so good.
Were you familiar with Miyazaki and his work?
Well, I'd heard of him, yes, but because I'm not a big gamer. I hadn't, Dark Souls. I hadn't been part of that world. And initially, you know, as we discussed before, you're told so little about the world or the game or the company or anything. It's only when stuff starts to leak out, not leak out, but when stuff is started to be, you know, released out there on socials that you're allowed to kind of be a little bit more in the loop, as it were, as what you're, you know, as what you're part of.
Yeah. Right. Is there anything that we might not know about Margit or Margott that you can tell us? That might be a tough question.
Well, now everybody's seen he's got a tail, so
yeah.
I don't know whether the tail was something they thought of afterwards, but I didn't. The entire process of recording Margit, I had no idea he had a tail, so that was news to me.
Is that the first character you've seen that had with a tail? It might be.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's not very often you come across.
No, and I mean a big tail as well. It wasn't a, you know, a little kind of dog tail.
Smacked me a few times, that tail.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can think of, or leave that one?
I don't know. I'm aware of, because I was looking at some of the lines that potentially may not have made it to the game that I have the spreadsheets for that we were sent. So I'm wary of saying things that might spoil people's enjoyment of the game later on. If I say, oh, by the way, he comes back again at the end or whatever.
Yeah. There was another scene where I was going through and he popped up as well. I don't know if many people have seen that one. He takes over just a normal body, but there's so many secrets to this game. Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I don't know how they've done it. Really, it's crazy. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans of your work, Anthony?
Wow. Well, thank you for the lovely words and the comments. It is really lovely to hear, because, you know, in theatre you get the response from an audience, but in screen media like television or games or film, you don't get that immediate response. So it's just nice to know. It's nice to know that people enjoy what you're doing, but B, it's just nice to hear something. You know, it's nice to hear something back. Yeah.
Did you is this the most you've heard for any of your video game work, or is there another role that springs to mind where you had a lot of fan feedback? Because I know you're not on social media, so it might be hard sometimes not to hear the feedback.
Yeah. I remember when we did with Blizzard, we launched the trailer for Diablo 4, and that was launched at BlizzCon. Again, this was at Liquid Violet in London, and we had a sort of screening party where they put this cinematic up on the studio screen at the same time that they launched it at BlizzCon.
Oh, wow.
And even though, like, way back when we were recording this short cinematic, the graphics were amazing then, but then to see what they actually came up with for the launch and the trailer, the sound design, but the visual,
isn't it impeccable?
It's one of the most impeccable pieces of animation I've seen. It was just breathtaking.
Yeah.
And the sound design, everything. It was beautiful.
It's like it's Pixar quality. It's up there with the best in the world, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a lot of fun to do. You know, I've really enjoyed working with Blizzard. Andrea Toyas, who's the head of direction and does a lot of the casting, is such a beautiful person that, you know, when you're recording with her, you can't help but feel like you're doing great work, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's the people you want to be with, isn't it? You want to hang around with, that empower you to be better. I'll give you a couple more questions. We're very thankful for you giving up your time today, Anthony.
Oh, not at all. It's lovely to chat.
Maxie here says, Maxie Jade, hi Anthony, awesome performance as Margit Morgott. My favourite intro is Morgott's, and it would be awesome to hear it. It'd be awesome to hear it, but I don't know the line off by heart. I don't think you do either. Do you Anthony? If someone can put it in the chat, I'm sure he'll be able to do it, but I don't. I only know the film.
I remember saying Captain Rykard or something like that. I remember he's quite clipped, I think. Although the thing is, we do retakes, so sometimes you're not sure which of the takes you've recorded make it.
No, yeah.
So I'm not sure. Yeah. But if somebody wants to put it in the
chat, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat,
guys.
Have
a go.
I know we're here mostly for Elden Ring, but can you ask Anthony how he got the part of Johnathan Reed in Vampyr, and how was it working on it? We touched on it before, but I don't. Yeah, I guess the process was the same again.
Yes.
Was it harder because it was a main character role? Was it a longer process than maybe some of the side characters? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot more studio time.
Yeah.
It was, again, you know, Side UK put out the casting. I submitted my demo.
Yeah.
And it went through, went back to the designers, the game designers.
Mm-hmm.
And it just followed the normal process. But yes, it was a lot longer in the booth. I can't remember. It was maybe 80 hours, 90 hours of recording. So it was a lot longer.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice payday.
Yeah. That's great.
Here we go. We've got the line. Thy kind are all of a piece, pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition. Is that it? Or is that Margit? Hold on. Here we go. I've got it. Godric the Golden, the twin prodigies, Miquella and Millennia, General Raidan, Praeta Rykard, Luna Prince. You're not going to remember this. You're not going to remember this. You are not
love to be able to remember all that. Sorry.
This isn't a line read. How about we do this? Can Margit say something to Dan? Okay, so pretend I'm a pillager coming in. What would Margit say to me?
Well, because I was thinking about this, and I thought, because Margit at the end of the boss fight says something like, "I shall remember thee, Dan the Tarnished, smouldering with thy meager flame."
Oh man, that's fantastic. I hope you don't mind if I use that. I'm gonna have to use that somewhere. That's unbelievable.
Of course.
Thank you, mate. So just anything else you wanted to say to the fans? Just very thankful.
Yeah, absolutely. I love being part of this world. I've been doing it for 10 years when not a lot of, I think a lot of actors are moving into video game work now. Especially after the pandemic, because there wasn't as much theatre or television or film. But I remember in the early days, it was a kind of an afterthought that you were an actor and sometimes you did a few video games. But from the get-go, I've always enjoyed doing video games, and I've always treated it as another art form, which it is, and tried to apply the same level of integrity and of approach that I do to theatre or television or film, because you want to honor the work that the game designers put into it, because we come in for a few hours, or maybe a few more if you're doing a bigger character. But the designers and the game,
there's so many people.
Yeah, they spend years. So I'm very, very grateful to be a part of the world, but B, to be able to do as much as I have done and hopefully will continue to do, because I love it. I really do. It's incredibly, as an actor, it's the best. It's freeing, it's liberating. You can play whatever character your voice enables you to inhabit, and that's amazing.
Well, hopefully they get you back for Elden Ring too. I mean, I'm sure that's going to happen now after the sales and success. I mean, you know what it's like these days. And then hopefully maybe Vampyr too, hey?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. I had a great time. Yeah, thank you so much for asking me on. It's been really lovely to chat and to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, mate. Is there any upcoming projects that you can talk about that we should, or is everything locked off for now?
Yeah, it is. I'd love to be able to talk about one thing, but I can't.
Okay. That's all right. No, that's all right.
But it will, yeah.
Is this one thing a game?
Yeah.
And I'm going to like it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have you back on for that game. How does that sound?
Oh, yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
If you'll come back. That's
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, no. Thank you, mate. Everyone's saying thank you so much, Anthony and Dan. We really appreciate it. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. Everyone follow this man on Twitter. He's back. And do you have Instagram? No.
I do, but I very rarely go on it. And I think it's Anthony M. Howell, but I don't really post. I should do.
That's all right.
Because of my architecture background, most of the things I follow is architecture and stuff like that. So it's more for
that. Yeah. I love that.
But yeah, no, I'm back on Twitter, and I want to sort of re-engage with the, especially with the gaming world.
I don't know if have you heard of Cameo? Do you know what Cameo is?
Oh yeah, where you record stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to get on there, because you would get a lot of requests for Margit. You'd be flat out. I don't know how you get on there, but yeah, maybe look into that, because I know there's so many people want to hear that voice,
Right.
But, yeah. I mean, you've worked with Idris Elba, you've worked with Ian McKellen, and now you can say George R. Martin, hey?
Yeah. Hey, wow. I know.
Not bad.
Miyazaki.
Yeah. Oh, man. You're going all right. Guys, everyone say bye to Anthony, and make sure to follow him. And again, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate you coming on. And
my pleasure.
I'll speak to you soon, mate. Take care.
Yes. You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition. Let it be Margit the Fell smoldering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear of the night.
There you have it, guys. That is Anthony Howell. He is Margit The Fell Omen. Margott. And I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. That was fantastic. A really, really lovely guy. Really enjoyed that one. And he was more than happy to do the voice, which I always love. Love hearing the voice, and it's incredible. His voice, man, that's one of the smoothest, best voices in the game. I mean, it's just a pleasure to hear that man do anything. I don't know what you guys think, but far out. That's a lovely voice, isn't it? Oh, man. Love to hear it. So, guys, we've got some others on in the upcoming days. So hopefully you'll join me. I'll be getting those up very, very shortly. And then I've actually got a game called Ghostwire Tokyo. Really early. I mean, it doesn't come out for another 10 days or so. So I've been playing through that. And but until then, Elden Ring. Hi Dan, I have finished Horizon Forbidden West. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Wow. That's not a bad score, mate. I would give the game an 8 at the moment. I think it's incredible, but I have not finished it. So I have to go back. I have to go back and clean it up a bit. But I've heard it's good. Thank you, Dan. Reading my chat meant a lot. My pleasure. That clutch guard love my, I know, right? Yeah, unfortunately, we had a couple of rejections, guys. Rani, the witch. I mean, she asked for a fee. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. They asked for fees. It's like, I've literally had Troy Baker, Jennifer Hale, Rob Wiedoff, Roger Clark. They're not asking for fees. You know what I mean? They get it. You get exposure. I get a great guest. It's a win-win for both, but some people don't get it. So, yeah, Rani and Melina. But the boss fight, how do you say it? Millennia? Is that how you say it? The really fucking crazy boss fight? Yeah, that might happen. That might happen. Not sure. Not sure. We got Blyde. We got Godfrey. We got Fia, the Wi-Fi. We got Fia, the Hugger, coming on. We've got... Who else have we got? I'd love to get Patches on. Not sure at the moment. Not sure on Patches. Bok, the Seamster. I love that voice. Do you know what I really want to get? Rykard. Oh, man, that voice. Can we just hear that voice? That's unbelievable what he's able to do with his voice. I just want to hear this. Can you believe what he was able to do? I'm actually in shock. Let's listen to it. It's actually insane. I'm not overstating this. Let's listen. Hold on. Ready? Oh, it's gross.
Very well. Shall
How do you do that voice? How do you actually even come up with that? That's insanity. Did you hear that? What the fuck was Simon doing? That is actually insane. Let me hear this again. Serpent Rykard. Let's hear it.
Join myself and King as remedy. Together we will devour the very god.
Good luck trying to imitate that one. That's fucking phenomenal, isn't it? Oh man, that's crazy. Fucking hell. That's crazy. Unbelievable. Yeah, so I would love to get Alexander on. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it? The pot guy, he was fantastic. Who else would be good, guys? Ghostwire's another game I'm sad about. I don't have a PS5. Ah, that's all right. You got to try and get your hands on one, eh? No worries, Electrical. My pleasure. Fear the Hugger. That's it. Yeah. Tanith's voice actor. What are you surprised about? She's Yara Greyjoy. Oh, really? From Game of Thrones? Is that her? Oh, that's sick. I'm never going to be able to get her on. She's famous. She's a Game of Thrones actor. Shit, really? Gemma Whelan, yeah. Look, I'll shoot my shot, guys. Let's see if we can make it happen. But probably not happening, you know. She's actually done quite a few video games recently. Squadron 42, Final Fantasy, Mass Effect Andromeda she was in. Obviously we know her from Game of Thrones. Yeah, I'll ask, you never know. I sent George R. Martin a message. His manager an email. Never heard back, didn't expect to. But I'll never forget when everyone said you got to get Keanu Reeves on, and for Cyberpunk. And I actually got a response from the manager saying, sorry, we can't do it. So funny. Yeah, he has a big history, Patches. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next time. It's been a pleasure. Take care. Love you all, and have a lovely, lovely day. Take care, guys.